Okay, I'm just looking overall at the community market for player unknown battlegrounds. Now there are so many of these items now; they've all come down to 4 cents. I mean, working boots, baseball caps, combat pants. Um, it's almost not worth buying a crate to come up with stuff like this. And this is more or less what you get from a lot of the crates. Also, 4 cents, 5 cents, the majority of the items now. In the past, they were a lot more. Even as you go, things like beanies and things, which were even a dollar before, they were actually a lot less now. And punk boots. Really, even survivor crates have come right down. Blue tops, sneakers, half gas masks. Now, when you get to the dollar mark, the Velcro traders, white shirts, sunglasses, etc., rim sunglasses, and then the the first keys, player unknown battleground. Basically, this is a key which can open the Gamescom Invitational crate, which is in itself plentiful in the community market. I don't know the distance between this one. This is and the next item number here. I mean, I think that's essentially the same thing. I don't know why they were put differently anyway. As you go down, Twitch Prime boots, Twitch Prime combat pants, because that's a rarer collection. You can still get the ballistic masks, the Mandarin jacket. These are all quite cheap now compared to what they were. Even the camel is still about 13, was about 15 before. Twitch Prime stuff is relatively rare. Pioneer crates. This is an interesting story. They were, as I've explained before in other videos, they were untradeable. Then there was a very sensible decision by Valve where they made them tradable. I think people were trying to get backpacks in order to secure these, and the price at one point was at $2,000, and they were extraordinarily expensive. Then they sort of briefly went up to about 30. They've settled down about 16. There are probably only, I thought there were only 300 or 400, but there's 540 here. I've got 100 of them, so there are probably 700 or 800 of these lying around somewhere in different backpacks. Protective sunglasses, the red ones are expensive, and as you get up higher, hot pants have always been expensive, even though there are a few of them around. The other items that command quite a big price are the mini skirts for some reason. Tan jeans. The Twitch Prime set is there are a few of them round, but there are still valued over $100. Tracksuit sets and yellow. So the tracksuit sets come next. Then there's the typically the male school uniforms from 100 to about 250. An instructor set, which is typically around 250, but it's 269 at the moment. They're less common. The red high top traders, which were the original shoes of Player Unknown, they are always been around this high 200, around the $300 mark. The skirts are $200 plus generally. I think the ivory one's the most expensive and the black, but the bandana, the Player Unknown's bandana is always around the $900 mark, and that really hasn't changed. There are typically 20 to 40 of them around at any one time. What did I do? I did something stupid. Okay, we talked about those. We go to here, the bandana. The last thing is this Player Unknown set. This is a set for the Player Unknowns. The Ivory School uniform female has gone through the roof. They're relatively uncommon. There are they're commanding now $1,400. Um, the overall, I mean, these crates here are the most sought after. This one here is particularly. This is the actual player unknown set, so that would have $900 plus $300 for the sneakers, and but overall it's the rarity of this item that makes it appealing to somebody such as me who is a collector. And I am looking at this, and I may potentially get them. Let's go. I'll go to the inventory now. I mean, I'm going to the inventory in Player Unknowns. I'm just going to look at these are the so-called the sets, SET. So I've got to complete the set. I've got the Twitch Prime set. I've got the blue uniform female. I've got the black uniform female, the tuxedo set female, the black uniform male, the ivory school uniform female, the instructor set, and the tracksuit set. So what I'm going to do now is I'm trying to get a collection of the majority of these items. There are certain shirts and things that you in competitions that you can't get, and they're quite high. So I've got Twitch Prime, I've got blue, I've got, so that's blue girl, I've got black girl, I've got tuxedo girl, I've got black boy, and tracksuit, which is bisexual. Then instructor set, and ivory in the girl. So really, these are some of the higher tier items. So if we go back to the where we were in terms of the market, that item there that I paid a couple of, maybe 3, maybe 4, who knows, it's appreciated dramatically. So there is potential for growth in these things. A black school uniform female, I've got one of those. I did not pay that much for it. A blue girl, again, that's expensive. Okay, the Player Unknown's trench coat, that's expensive. I've got one of those, but that's pretty well be the price of them. If you actually look at it, 900 plus that, plus the sneakers, this is actually not bad value. So what I need is a Player Unknown set, which is $1,800 USD, which is a pretty stiff whack. A tuxedo set female I've already got. So the female ones seem to be the most in demand. I guess I don't know why that is. That's the tracksuit set I've got. The tracksuit also comes in a yellow version, which is again a bisexual version. And that is around 167. The ivory male set is a lot less expensive than the female, and it's 169. The blue male school uniform is 191. I've got the black one. I haven't got the tuxedo male. And after that, the instructor set, which I've already mentioned, is I've already got, but they're sort of $200. These high top trainers are also sort of maintain their value well. So they're the kits, and the Twitch Prime kit is actually a nice kit. But I mean, again, it's I've got a Twitch Prime, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's there are a few of them around, so 101 of them around. You just have to look what's on the market. the rarity determines the price, and ultimately, if you only got two of these, you've only got four of these. Obviously, maybe there's quite a few girls that play PUBG that like this. Maybe it's under demand for that reason. Who knows? The collector sort of, we just try to get one of everything. um, Orange shirts, so they were actually a little bit more expensive before. That's interesting to watch their price as well. So overall, the items that I think to watch are these the original Pioneer crates, because they've gone up and down and up and down and up and down. And especially if people start unboxing them, they may become scarce. There are probably more of them coming out of the woodwork than people thought. We were estimating there to be 300 of them around, but there are, in fact, at least 600. Maybe 700, 800, who knows? But there are probably not more than 1,000 of those in existence. So this is a scarce item. I haven't seen it up before in the community market. It is an interesting one. I will probably seek to acquire this one because I've been hunting it for some time. But it's just interesting to watch what's happening with the PUBG value of system. Now, if they introduce skins for weapons and other things like that, I mean, God forbid if they ever have it so you could actually buy your firearms before you went in, the trade would go absolutely friggin' stupid. But I guess that would take away from the how the game has been designed. Peace. Okay, I'm just sort of coming into talking about the overall emergence of PUBG in terms of collectors. 2 months ago, this chap here, Sam Alexo, had a value of an inventory of $104 or 224 Steam dollars, and the guy had high top traders. Is that times 35, trench coats times 42, bloody shirts. So this guy has actually had quite a interesting collection, and I don't know if he's a trader or what he does. I assume it's an investment, hoping the current skins rotate out, become unobtainable, and then sell at a high price. Yeah, it's an investment for sure. Absolute. He was a massive CSGO trader and owns a trade bot alongside Mo. Probably has more than one other account. How do you cash this stuff up? Through op skins. Okay, it's I don't know about the Russians launder money. Anyway, the basically overall, I mean, the question is whether or not whatever whatever or not he's done. Like, he's got 41 trench coats, which are those ones that we talked about, which are those I think they're like $500 on trench coats. I used to trade with you before he got banned. I don't know. He's 20 years old, so he's doing well for his age. Yeah, basically, this guy has admitted a large amount of items. I don't know why he got banned. I don't know if he did it bad. I do not know if this is true, but it's certainly. I'm certainly thinking that this guy is doing this primarily from a investment. Basically, there's all sorts of innuendos and whatever, yeah. But I guess this is the question is, I mean, speculation and what it does to the market. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these games are just like the stock market. People buy things and they go things go up and down. And as a collector, we negotiate this sort of stuff. But these guys here, basically, he's banned not for scamming. I don't know what he was banned for. I don't really care. But at the end of the day, He has a juicy inventory. A lot of the inventory is centered around getting the initial items of from PUBG, and so on. This one here, trench coat, from 480 to 125. Um, Okay, there is a website here. This is the PUBGshowcase.com inventory. It shows you the most valuable inventories. The top value inventories is this Sam Alexo for 117,000. You've got all these other guys: Nick Dog, Mo, Bad, Vinny, Heisenberg, a whole lot of people that are quite are quite significant. I don't know what the top collectors are. I mean, they're the number of people that have the most stuff. Um, wow. I mean, last checked inventories. These are the inventories that check. So I guess if I'll just put mine in there. Fat Storm Trooper. Do I even register here? Okay, so I mean, I've signed in here. Basically, it says here the value of my inventory is $7,400 and $10,000. Compared to the other guy, I feel pretty small. I'm like the fourth highest on TF2, but here it's just like a different world. Basically, rarities: one pink, red, purple, green. Yeah. So from my point of view, out of the collections, I've got 62.8% of the skins, and I guess I mean, this is a breakdown. This is a breakdown of what I've got. The baseball caps times 29, the beanies, the uniform set. The black uniform set, male combat bloody pants, bloody sneakers, and again, these are quite big value items. The camo cap is the camo hot pants are quite valuable, and they're a saleable item because they're quite popular sailing item. The camel coat, if you go down further down here. On the instructor set is obviously quite the female ivory. That's the value of the Steam community market. This is now quite valuable. The Pioneer crate. I've got 76 at the moment, but more coming. But again, the pleated black mini cert, the player unknown's a bandana. I've only got one of those. The red high top trainers, the school skirt, which is a red, that's a red item. The tuxedo set female, the tuxedo jacket. Overall, I've got quite a lot of these sets, and some of these items are quite valuable, but not so much in terms of translating into price. I have just got the player. This is the player unknown set. This is the one I just got off Steam. Basically, it says no value in the backpack because they're rare. So the answer is that item is probably worth more than it is, and similarly that one is as well. So overall, I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm not particularly. Some of these guys have got really, really early into this sort of stuff, and some of them have heavily commercialized.